I'm going to preview the 2 seed Notre Dame versus the 3 seed Oregon State women's basketball game, which will be played on March 29th at 1:30 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. And the game will be played in Albany, New York, and at MVP Arena. So I am just going to say this up front. It might not be particular order on the points per game and stuff. And I'm just going to go like starters and then bench players just to make it faster. And I cannot memorize all this stuff, so I have to look down some. And I'll give out keys to the game for both of these teams. So that way I'm not going over every single player too, because that would take way too long. And I do not know about the injury stuff as much. I know in particular on certain players I do, some players I don't. Okay, Natalia Marshall, 5.1 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, 1 block per game, 1.3 turns per game, 2.4 fouls per game, 76.6% on free throws on 34 attempts, 0 for 1 on threes. Okay. Maddie Westbeld, 14.2 points per game, 8.9 rebounds per game, 1.5 steals per game, 1.2 blocks per game, 2.2 turns per game, 3 fouls per game, 77.1% on free throws on 70 attempts, 37.3% on threes on 102 attempts. Hannah Hidalgo is definitely another player. 22.9 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game, 5.6 assists per game, 4.6 steals per game, 3.4 turns per game, 2.7 fouls per game, 77.4% on threes on free throws actually on 235 attempts, 34.7% on threes on 144 attempts. Now, Anna DeWolf, 8.6 points per game, 2.5 assists per game, 1 steal per game, 1.6 turnovers per game, 1.2 fouls per game, 79.2% on free throws on 24 attempts, 36.4% on threes on 118 attempts. Sonia Citron is definitely the next player to keep an eye on. Note of 17.1 points per game, 5.4 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists per game, 1.8 steals per game, 0.6 blocks per game, 2.5 turns per game, 2.2 fouls per game, 90.9% on threes. On free throws actually on 88 attempts, 36.6% on threes on 123 attempts. Okay, KK Bransford definitely plays the most off the bench for Notre Dame when you look at the stats. 7 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 2 assists per game, 1.2 steals per game, 1.3 turnovers per game, 1.6 fouls per game, 23.1% on threes on 26 attempts, 78.4% on free throws on 74 attempts. So that's definitely some. And I know they have played 2 players with 1 minute or less. So I am not. Yeah, I'm not gonna go over like Sarah Kunigel and Becky Obenema. So I'm just gonna stop it right there for Notre Dame side of things. Now Oregon State side of things. And I apologize if it's not in any particular order though. I really do. It's just trying to make it faster and all this. Okay. The first player I'm going to mention for Oregon State is Tamia Gardner. 11.4 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, 1.5 turnovers per game, 1.4 fouls per game, 89.5% on free throws on 57 attempts, 40% on threes on 160 attempts. Reagan Beers, which I know she hurt herself not in the round of 64, but she played. 17.5 points per game, 10.2 rebounds per game, 1.3 steals per game, 1.2 blocks per game, 2.2 turnovers per game, 2.3 fouls per game, 63.7% on free throws on 146 attempts, and she's 0 for 2 on threes, by the way. So she's not a 3-point shooter, so to speak. Donovan Hunter is the next player I'm going to mention. 6.6 points per game, 2.4 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game, 1.5 turnovers per game, 0.7 steals per game, 1.4 fouls per game, 59.3% on free throws on 27 attempts, 30.8% on threes on 78 attempts. Talia von Alhoffen, 10.9 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, 4.9 assists per game, 2.3 turnovers per game, 1 steal per game, 1.7 blocks per game, 1.9 fouls per game, 88.1% on free throws on 84 attempts, 33.1% on threes on 136 attempts. AJ Marriott, or Marotee, I apologize if I butchered that, 5.3 points per game, 0.8 turnovers per game, 0.9 fouls per game, made all 14 free throws, 30.8% on threes on 78 attempts. Okay, the first player I'm going to mention off the bench is Kelsey Reeves, 5.2 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 1.1 turns per game, 1 block per game, 1.8 fouls per game, 63.6% on free throws on 33 attempts, 37.7% on threes on 61 attempts. And I'm going to just go more like commonly used players that played a lot more minutes. So just to give some clarity there, and Dominika Perova, Paurova. Apologize if I butchered that. 5.6 points per game, 2.2 rebounds per game, 0.6 steals per game, 1.5 turnovers per game, 1.2 fouls per game, 38.1% on threes on 42 attempts, 75% on free throws on 44 attempts. And the last player I'm going to mention for Oregon State is Lily Hansford, 4.8 points per game. It's so close to 2 rebounds per game. I'm going to mention it. 1.8 rebounds per game. That's pretty much it. 45.2% on threes on 93 attempts. 73.1% on free throws on 26 attempts. So obviously we do not know about the officiating in this game and how it's going to be played. So you got to adjust to it. And you got to out-hustle the other team. You got to keep yourself out of foul trouble while getting them in foul trouble, especially the best players on the team. As we all know, you got to make adjustments on the fly. Not just quarter to quarter, first half, second half, but possession by possession, timeout to timeout, media break to media break, and all this. And defensively, you got honestly, you want to get out rebound the other team, both offensively and defensively. I mean, you got to get some second chance points on offense while limiting those. You got to get some points off turnovers while limiting those on defense. You got to get some transition points. You got to get limit those as well. Points in the paint, you got to limit those. You got to contain the shooters, contain the slashers. You got to take care of the ball while forcing turnovers on defense. So that's just more generic keys. I know it sounds like an every game deal, but it's just the truth. And you got to keep your composure, keep your cool. I mean, it's the thing, because you don't want to get a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2 or a technical foul and all this. Oh no. And this is one of those evenly tight games to me that's really close to pick. Even though the matchup predictors does say otherwise. I mean, that's the thing. Even if that Notre Dame is a favorite, according to them, 73.5%. To Oregon State's 26.5%. I'm just saying it's a 2-3 matchup. Anything could happen. And anything could happen in March. I mean, look at all the upsets already in women's basketball. So, what else? Yeah, you don't want to have illegal screens, and if you're going to have turnovers, you got to make sure to dead ball, but you don't want those either. I mean, that's the thing about it is. And all this, and you got to don't let the other team live at the free throw line. Of course, you want to get to the free throw line on offense, and you got to make them count too. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 600 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more, so make money out this course. Like the video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithms so more people can see. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching And not subscribe, hit subscribe button, ring the notification bell as well.